So the next example will be how to graph a rational function. However, since the school district is allowing us to use Desmos during exam, I'm not gonna go deeper with how to do the graphing traditionally, okay? So we will be observing the behavior of the graph as well as finding its asymptote. So when you graph in Desmos, y equals 1 over x and y equals 1 over x minus 3, this looks like this one. So notice that there is an asymptote here for y equals 1 over x as the graph of this function is approaching to the positive infinity. It gets closer and closer to the x equals 0. Same thing with this, as the graph approaches to the negative infinity, it gets closer and closer to the y equals 0. However, it will not touches the x-axis. So this way, this will be the vertical asymptote, and this is the horizontal asymptote. For number 2, as the graph is approaching to the positive infinity, it gets closer and closer and closer to x equals 3. And as this graph is approaching to the negative infinity, it gets closer and closer to the x is equal to 0. So y equals to 0 rather. So for number 2, y is equal to 1 over x minus 3. The vertical asymptote there is x is equal to positive. This is the vertical asymptote. Okay, a line is an asymptote of a graph if the graph gets closer to the line as x or y gets longer in absolute value. Okay, how do we find now the vertical and the horizontal asymptote? So the graph of a rational function of the form y is equal to a over x minus b plus c has a vertical asymptote. So solve for this one. That's the vertical asymptote. The vertical asymptote is actually the excluded value. Just make the excluded value an equation form, and the horizontal asymptote is this one. Okay, for example, y is equal to 1 over x plus 4. So for the vertical asymptote, you have x plus 4 is equal to 0. Subtract both sides by 4. That's why your vertical asymptote is negative 4. For the horizontal asymptote, you have y is equal to 1. This is the horizontal asymptote. Okay. Now, let's have this one. Identify the vertical and the horizontal asymptote. Notice that y is equal to, we have earlier the form as y is equal to a over x minus b plus c. So this one is our vertical asymptote, and this one is our horizontal asymptote, which means this is your vertical asymptote. So vertical asymptote is x is equal to 0. Next, the horizontal asymptote here is y is equal to negative 3. This is the horizontal asymptote. This is the vertical asymptote. Simply as that. So I want you to answer practice exercises number 2. Find the vertical and the horizontal asymptote. And then you answer your classwork in your Math Excel, and then prepare for a chapter test on Thursday.